awareness in the technology to come forward. It helps them in the social awareness. So we were formed actually on 2nd June 2017. So by the time we have completed three main things. First is Girlship Summer of Code, which was founded in 2017, 18, 19. It is a 3-month online open source platform for building projects for companies and NGO. Then we conducted a Let's Buy India tour. That was again a 3-day Python program boot camp that was organized in approximately 12 cities across India. Third, which came was a one-day event that is the Girlship India Summit. So what exactly is Girlship India Summit? So it is an annual celebration helping beginners in technology, innovation, and education. We have over 3,000 plus volunteers. 60% of women participation is there, and 1,200 plus events we have conducted in the last 3 years. We have taught over 25,000 plus students in past 2.5 years in 52 cities across India. The company is also collaborative to collaborators. We have collaborated with Microsoft, GitHub, JetBrains, Coding Ninjas, and many more. So now I would like to introduce our speaker. He is Mr. Sagar Shah. He is he is founder of the Cosmic OS organizations. He is a BTech student, and so welcome, Sagar. Sagar.
Hello, yeah, I can hear you.
Welcome to our event. Welcome to Girlship Surat, and thank you for giving us session. So how are you feeling? Like this is a pandemic period. It's a bit stressful, right?
Yeah, well, it's stressful for most of them, but I always make sure that like pandemic is the best way to actually like learn new things, right? In this pandemic, I did a very I did various stuff, and I learned so many things in this vacation. So yeah, I take it as a productive leave instead of just hanging out in home.
Yeah, it is actually depends on people's perspective, and Girlship is also trying to do that, like to make people more productive and get them towards the technology. The pandemic period actually stuck us in the house, but it has not stopped our knowledge. We're trying to spread that awareness. So, shall we start with the presentation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So please continue.
Okay.
I'll turn off the video and you can go ahead.
Okay. So, can you guys see the screen or not?
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Okay. So, first of all, welcome everyone to the webinar on Android framework development. So, today what we'll be discussing is, so I will be showing you how your Android operating system is compiled, what are the sources which are used, and how is it different than app development. You see, I will tell you one thing. Overall, if you talk about like Android app development, there are thousands and lakhs of people who are doing app development, okay, in India, but there are very few. I guess are only around 500 to 1,000 people who are actually doing Android framework in India. Android framework is really different than Android app development, though they both are same. Android app is also part of it, but the thing is, Android app is a very small part. Android app development is very small part. Whereas for Android framework development, you require a lot of skills plus exposure. So you can't just master this in just 1 week or 10 days, as people usually do in Android app development. You see, there are several courses also available which will help you to like complete an app in just 2 days, 3 days. But that is not possible with Android framework, because Android framework is a very big development. Okay, so today I will be showing you from scratch, like from starting of how it actually is built. Okay, everything. So like how the OS is built, what are the components of OS, what actually affects the OS, what is routing. I will go through them one by one. So this is the just some introduction about me. So my name is Sagar Shah. I'm an aerospace engineer. I'm founder of Cosmic OS. So as I'm taking the Android framework development, let me tell you, like I have an experience in Android framework since 3 years. So I've been doing it since like around 3 years. When I was in ninth standard, I guess, yeah, eighth or ninth standard, I had my own operating system. This was when I started Cosmic OS. I was featured by Think Young Foundation as a young CEO. I also got a fellowship of rupees 20,000 per month by ERP Next Foundation for promoting open source. I also qualified for second stage of Global Student Entrepreneurs Awards, top 16 in India. I worked in several rocket satellite missions by working in a space-based startup named Star. I'm experienced in reverse engineering and decryption algorithms. I'm well aware in Java, C, C++, Lua, Makefile, and Python. So this is all about me. So let's proceed. So this is the presentation overview. So these are the things we will cover. Okay. So first of all, we will talk about root and custom ROMs. In it, we will talk about the explanation of root and discussing. I will discuss the advantages of flashing a custom operating system. Okay. So then ROM sources, introduction to Android open source projects and sources of famous ROMs. Then I will show you source sync and compilation. I will tell you about repo sync and all other stuffs. So it's okay if you don't know anything. Let me tell you, I will teach everything from scratch so that you will understand it. Okay. So I can't guarantee that you will be able to understand fully, but because it's just a 1 hour time which I've done, but I will at least try to demonstrate how actually it looks, so that if you want to proceed in it, you can go further. So let us start. So what is root? Okay, or let me say routing. Okay, root is a not perfect word. Let us say routing. So routing is a very popular thing to do with your Android phone these days. It allows you to do a number of things you wouldn't normally be able to do, such as use apps that require root permission, flash kernels, remove bloatware, and overclocking. Okay, so this all is seems very hard to understand, right? So I will tell you in a simple way. Suppose you are using your Windows. Okay, so whenever you go to C drive or you want to do some changes in your C drive of Windows, there is an option which you need to enable. Like it asks you to enable the permission. Okay, so like give administrator access to continue. There is something an option like that. So routing is same like giving administrative access to your phone. Okay, so Android is based on Linux. Okay, so now in Linux there are specifically like different groups of permission which you can do. So if you are if you use your phone normally, you don't have any special privileges to change any system files. Okay, so now if you want to do any changes in your system files, you need to have access administrative access. So that is what root is. Okay, basically giving yourself full authority of your phone. That's what your routing is. Now, why will you do that? See, there are lots of apps in apps Play Store. You can, if you know, that requires root permissions. Like there are lots of apps. Okay, so what actually root permission is helps is you can do some more stuff which you can't do normally. Okay, like changing your fonts from like changing the fonts to customizing your system to each and everything, like modifying any source code or something. If you want to do it from your phone, you need to have a root permission. Okay, then you can also flash kernel. Okay, what is kernel? So kernel means, see, there is a two part for an Android phone. Two parts. Okay, one is your Android operating system software, and another is your hardware. Okay, so now when you click on camera, your hardware, so what happens is your software will try to open camera, and then it will access your hardware. Okay, and and it will access the camera of your phone. But now, how does it actually work? How does the software and hardware get connected? So that happens due to kernel. Okay, kernel is the bridge between Android, your software, and your hardware. So that's what you call it as a kernel. So you can change kernels after you do root. Okay, you can like modify kernels. Like you can remove bloatwares. What you mean by bloatwares is, many times if you use suppose if you use a MI phone, there will be lots of Chinese apps available in which you cannot uninstall. Okay, like for example, there are many apps in MI systems which you might consider as a bloatware. Okay, but you want to remove it, but you can't. So that can be done after rooting. Okay, you can even remove system apps. And last is overclocking. So overclocking is the best thing which you can do. We can usually do that in laptops or in gaming PCs, if you know. So usually the gaming PCs are of around 2.3 gigahertz. Okay, and people usually overclock it to 3 gigahertz, 3.5 gigahertz to get more processor to play high-end games. Same can be done in phones too. Okay, if you want more performance, you can change your kernel. You can overclock the bootloader of your phone. This way you can make your phone faster. Okay, so it will create more processing speed of your phone. So this is how you do it. So so that's what we call is that overclocking. So all these things can be achieved via a route, via routing. Okay. So this was about introduction about what route exactly is. So now let's proceed. Okay. So now let us go with Android custom rooms. Okay. So what I will be doing is I will be like I have compiled a list of some list of some websites in this bit.ly/Android framework. You can see this. So I have made this link very short, like you can easily type it. So I will be showing you while typing it. Okay, right now. Let me just present. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm presenting my entire screen. Just 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, Sagar, 1 second. So
Yeah.
I would like you to request Vinod Tiwari to please switch off your video. Like you have been on the video for since a long time. So it's a humble request to please switch off your video because it actually comes between the multiple videos that during the presentation.
Okay, so you can see just type bit.ly Android framework. This is a short link which I have created for text. So I have compiled some link sources over here. You can access it anywhere. Okay. So first of all, to understand what is custom ROM, I have this article which I want to show you guys. Okay. So I will just go through. So let me tell you what is XDA developers. You can see XDA developers. So this is the official forum for anything related to your phone. Okay, anything which you will do in your phone related to custom ROMs, routing, anything related to OS or changing of Android. Okay, it's all present in XDA developers. Okay, so I am one of the senior member of XDA developers. So okay, sorry. So first of all, let us start with what is an Android custom ROM. Okay, so in the world of Android, you will often hear people talking about custom ROMs. So this article will explain why you want one. Okay, so custom ROM is basically changing your Android operating system. Okay, so currently what the operating system which you usually have is not is from company. Okay, that's what you call as stock ROM. Okay, so why you should change your stock ROM to a custom ROM? I will. So I'm going to emphasize on that. Okay. So because whatever we are going to see of today, like changing Android framework, is all about related to custom ROMs. So I will tell you more about it. So the term ROM, which stands for read-only memory, and really has a very little to do with what custom Android ROM actually is. So what we usually know is ROM is read-only memory, but that's not what we are referring over here. Okay, the custom, when I mean custom ROM, it's not like some read-only memory. Okay, so the read-only memory is different and custom ROM is different. Okay, custom ROM refers to a phone's firmware. Okay, based on Google's Android platform. I will tell you more about what is actually Google's Android platform. This is what you call it as AOSP. Okay, Android Open Source Project. I will tell you more about it. So Android is open source, and therefore any developer can edit the code, recompile it, and release it for a wide variety of devices. So that's what I'm going to show you, like how you can edit the code, recompile it, and then how to release it. So I will show you today. So, and because Android is open source, we can do this. Okay. So if you talk about iOS is a closed source software. So there is no, like, you can't access the like OS softwares. So you can't make your own iOS version of OS. Okay. But you can make your own Android version of OS because Android is open source. So basically users can install ROMs to change a device appearance and behavior. So appearance means, see, whenever you use, there are different appearance with different ROMs. Okay, like suppose if you are using a MI phone, you will have MI UI, which has a kind of Chinese type of UI. Okay, then if you use Samsung, then Samsung has a different UI, one UI you can say. Then suppose Vivo, then Vivo has different UIs. Like color OS, and there are operating system for different different custom firmwares. Okay, suppose if you talk about OnePlus, OnePlus has its Oxygen OS. Similarly, people have different type of like even we like, as a custom ROM developers create different ROMs. Okay, so my Cosmic OS are different UI. Maybe there there are different popular ROMs like Lineage OS and other ROMs. They have different UI. So each ROM has its own essence and UI. Okay, in it. So ROMs are developed by the Android community and oftentimes by a group of co-developers. Okay, so and which do just because of a passion for modding. Okay, even I start for as a passion for this. So custom ROMs are always free. Okay, this means that they are completely free. Custom ROMs are available for phones, tablets, media players, smartwatches, almost any type of device running Android. Okay, so when you buy your Android device, it comes with what we call a stock ROM or the stock firmware. So this is what I said earlier. This refers to the pre-installed operating system. The ROM usually has limited functionality as defined by the phone's manufacturer. By flashing a custom ROM, you can unlock extra features and sometimes improve the performance. So why? So basically for custom ROM, what the main thing is more customizations, more features, more stability. So stability depends on your on the developer, but usually what people why people use custom ROM is more stability and really less bloatware. Okay, usually the stock firmwares are more than 1 or 2 GB of size in size. Okay, whenever you do some software update, you do it for around 1 or 2 GB of size, but custom ROMs are only available for around 300 to 500 MB. Okay, so this is why they are bloatware free. They are very light operating systems. Okay, custom ROMs. Then there is another thing called one more advantages can be. So okay, I will tell about why use your custom ROMs. So as I said, performance, you will be able to overclock your hardware and do lots of stuffs. Okay, so it will obviously help in improving the performance and battery life. Okay, battery life. Then updates. So usually when you I can assure you, you can even check it. Okay, you can go to settings about phone menu of your phone. You can see the security patch of your phone. Okay, I can guarantee that if you are using a stock ROM, then the security patch will be around around November, December, or maybe January, February, March. Okay, currently we are on July month, and Google has already released the July security patch. But I can guarantee you that your stock ROM won't have the July security patch. Okay, Google releases a security patch each month, but stock firmware takes lots of time to actually give update. Okay, so you are usually 3 to 4 months far from the latest release. But if you use a custom ROM, you can have the release as soon as it releases. Okay, people releases the custom ROM as soon as Google releases it. So you can get the update in just 1 or 2 days rather than 3-4 months as usually you usually get in that stock ROMs. Then customizations. I can tell you, you can customize each and every element of your OS. Okay, each and every element of your OS using customizations. So this was all about what is a custom ROM and why you should actually have it. Okay, so now let us go to presentation. So I told you about routing. I told you what do you mean by Android custom ROMs. Okay, so now you can go to more about you can just search on YouTube about this, and then you will be able to see you will be able to see more about it. Okay, so let me tell you, each device has different custom ROM. Okay, unlike Windows, which has only one release, which can be used in all the laptops or computers, Android is different. Okay, so for Android, you have custom ROMs for each individual device. Okay, for each device, one has to compile it. So that's the thing which with Android. So for each device and each each device, there needs to be a different maintainer or developer who compiles the OS for the same OS for different phones. Okay, so that's the thing about Android custom ROMs. So now let us go with ROM sources. So when we talk about AOSP, we say Android open source project. Okay, so now we will be using internet to explore different ROM sources and see how they work. Okay, so now it's going to be a little bit technical, and we can say more about coding stuff. So just try to be with me. I will try to explain it in a very simple manner. Okay, so as I will also use this Android framework link over here too. Okay, so See, I've already given it over here. You can see Google's AOSP source. Okay, so this is the official source code of the entire operating system. Okay, of Android. Let me tell you, Android operating system, the source code is about around 40 to 50 GB. Okay, let me tell you, see, the source code of some normal app is only about 20 to 30 MB, whereas of an entire operating system of Android framework is around 30 to 40 GB. So you can understand the vastness, like why is it very different than normal. Okay, so normally the Android, whatever you do in your Android Studio, that's Android app development. That takes only around 30 to 40 MB of source code. Okay, but this Android framework is around 30 to 40 GB. So you can't compile it in your normal phone, normal laptop. So to compile an operating system, you need a really good hardware. So and literally fast internet speed. Okay, so because syncing 30 to 40 GB takes lots of time. Okay, and then each time Google releases some update, you need to again like sync it. So it may take time. So you need a very good internet source. Then you also need very good hardware. So now, like not everyone has a very good hardware and software, right? So for that, you can use a virtual private server. Okay, a VPS, you can say. So a VPS is like, you can say, a virtual server which offers you can say online hardware. Okay, so I will also be using a virtual server. You can say this over here. So this is my VPS server, which I will be using to demonstrate the source code, like how I actually compile the source code and everything. So for more info about VPS, what you can do is just Google about virtual private Linux VPS servers. Okay, just you do this Linux VPS, you will get everything. So there are lots of companies which give different type of they are hosting at different prices. So for start, what you can do is you can get a Google Cloud free trial. Okay, Google Cloud gives $300 for free for 1 year. So you can use Google Cloud to use your own VPS for free. And if you want to try it, so if you get a Linux VPS, you can compile the operating system even with using your mobile internet. Okay, because you only need to access the server. Everything else can be done from Google, like the server manufacturer. So now, and you can see android.googlesource.com. So each and every repository which you see is a platform, is a repo, like each and every line which you see is a repository. Okay, so repository means you can say a folder. Okay, a folder containing sub files. So each folder is shown in GitHub as this, like a repository. Okay, so this is official Git source of Google. So each and every source you see, okay, is something which you need to sync to create your own OS. Okay, each and every source you can see. So I won't go in much detail about all the source, because it's not possible in just 1 hour of time. But I will show you some basics. Okay, so basic sources and how they are used. So for that, I will be going in more about custom ROM sources. So you can see there are also sources for devices. Okay, you can see device ASUS DUB. So what this means is, device means it shows that this is something related to device. ASUS means, suppose this is the ASUS source. Okay, ASUS card. So each manufacturer has different name. Okay, so this is a ASUS source, and DEB over here. DEB is the name of the device. Okay, each device has a different code name. Today, for my tutorial, I will be using my phone. Suppose it's Redmi K20 Pro. Okay, this is my phone. So Redmi K20 Pro is a normal phone, but the code name for the phone is Raphael. I will show you. So what you need to do is just write the phone and just add a code name over it. So you will be able to see the code name. You can see the code name over here. It's, suppose for my phone, it's Raphael. So each phone has a different code name. Okay, each phone has a different code name. So you need to see the code names. So each phone has a different code name, and you need to see about it. Okay, so I won't be going much into this. So this was just to show that this is the original Android source, and people use this to create their own OS. Okay, But okay, so I'll be telling you about two main repositories. You can go through them. One is frameworks base. You can say this is the heart of your operating system, heart, brain, everything of your operating system. Okay, almost like out of like if you say out of 100% of Android source, framework base comprises of around 30% of your source. Okay, literally 30%. So this is the almost each and everything which you see is like which each and every feature which you want is mostly done in this framework based repository which I'm showing you. So there are thousands of branches in this. Okay, you can see there are each and every each month Google releases a different tags. Okay, so if currently for Android 10 there are lots of tags. For Android 9, Lollipop, Nougat, Oreo, you can see each and every version of Android which are available until now. Okay, so currently like Android started from, you can say, donut time. Okay, donut eclair. So you can get the source code of each and every operating system which have like Google, which each and every version or release which Google has done. Okay, from donut, ICS, Jelly Bean, KitKat, Lollipop, then came Marshmallow, then came Nougat, then came Oreo. So these are all Oreo. Then came Pie. Then currently we are having an Android 10. So each and everything. Okay, so each and every source code is available. So now I will talk about some popular repositories. So if you want to start, you can say, see, when you talk about custom ROM, when I started, it was around and in 2000, I guess 2016 or 15. Okay, it was when I started like when I started doing custom ROMs and stuff. Okay, so the ROM which I'm going to talk about, this Lineage OS, is a part of Cyanogen mode. Earlier it was known as Cyanogen mode, and then in like around 2 years ago, the name changed to Lineage OS. Cyanogen mode is the father of custom ROMs, you can say. Okay, it is the most popular ROM among XJ community, and it is there since I see as a Jelly Bean time. Okay, I showed you about and donut, right? So it is there since this Froyo gingerbread time. Okay, so you can see how long it will be there since 2010 or 2011. Okay, so it is the oldest custom ROM ever to build. It was started by by one person, and now there are like more than 1,000 of developers in contributing in Lineage OS. So it has been the father of all ROMs, and almost whatever sources which you see, like all the custom sources you see, some has some code of Lineage OS. Okay, or like or Cyanogen mode. Then it just changed. So let me just show you the source code of Lineage OS. You can see how many times it has got updated. You can see the updates. It just updated 30. So what I'm showing is a GitHub. Okay, GitHub is the only like you can go through my lectures if you want to know more about what is GitHub. So I won't go much detail about it. So basically, GitHub is a place where you can host your codes. Okay, so if you are into programming development, like programming, you can know what exactly is GitHub. Okay, I will answer the question. So basically, Android framework means Google Android open source, right? Yes. So Android framework means the open source framework which is present by which has been given by Google. Okay, this is what you call OSP. The thing which I am showing you right now, this is AOSP. Okay, so what how we create a custom ROM is we sync AOSP source code and then we modify it for our sources. Okay, so this is the modified version of AOSP which you called as Lineage OS. So this is one of the popular ROMs which are like, this is the father of all custom ROMs. Okay, this is the most popular ROM ever. So I will be telling you what. So you can see there are lots of repositories. So when you want to compile a ROM, you only need to see 2 or 3 things. Okay, you don't have to go in much into detail about it, because at first you will just try to compile it. Okay, I'm not going to show you how to actually create your own full source, because the full source contains lots of repositories. You can see the number of repositories. It's 2.1k repository which you gotta change. Okay, so that's a really big thing which will take lots of time. But as a start, you can start learning how to compile an operating system. Compiling is So there are different stages. Okay, first of all, there are normal users in Android. Okay, then after that, there are some advanced users which kind of like install custom ROMs in. Okay, they don't know much, but they know about routing and they install custom ROMs. Then comes a phase when there are maintainers or there are some developers who compile the already available source code on for the people. Okay, for free for the community. Now there comes more people who actually work on the Android framework or Android source. Okay, so they are the reason because of which they make the whole Android source code. So I am among those people who are actually creating the Android source code. Okay, so I also be showing my operating system source code, which is also open source. So as I said, you need to consider only 3-4 things while you are creating an operating system mainly. First is Android framework base. Okay, this is the biggest source code, like this is the biggest repository. You can see the commits. Okay, like there are more than 425 commits. So there are lots of repositories. Okay, if you go, so I won't go much into detail about it. So each and every folder which you see has some code, has some something which you need. Okay, so this is about Android framework base. Now next comes manifest. Okay, so different ROMs have different names. In Lineage OS, this is named as in Android repository. So this is what you call manifest. So see, this is what the main repository for compiling is. So what is it? This is manifest is a like XML language. It is a repository compiled in XML language, which you need to write so that you can do a repo sync. So I will show that afterwards. So I will show you in detail about it afterwards. Just so you know. So this is how you get started. Okay, to get started with Android Lineage OS, you will need to get familiar with repo and version control. Okay, and to initialize your local repository, you need to sync it using. Okay, so let me show you what is repo. So repo complements Git by simplify work. Okay, I will show you that afterwards. Currently it's linear. So this is what you want to go for. So for first of all manifest, you will be using the manifest to sync the source. Okay, I will show you the main default XML file. So this is how you sync. Okay, this is called XML file. Okay, this also comes in the makefile. So basically, what you do is this is a repository in which what you to compile to sync each and everything. What you do is you just write it as what is the path, what is the name of what we want to do, and from where you want to sync. So this is how actually a line is. So you just need to, this is just a link of all the repository which you want to sync. Okay, so this is all the repository which you want to sync for compiling the Android operating system. Okay, you can see there are more than 700 folders. Okay, each and every line which you see is an individual repository which you got to sync. So you can see the complexity. Okay, app requires only one folder, whereas Android framework requires more than 700 folders. Okay, you can see that. So each and every source you need to compile. So this is afterwards. Okay, so this was about manifest. Now let me tell about settings. Okay, this is another popular repo which is also comprises around 5 to 6% of your Android phone. Okay, Android framework. So now what the settings app which you see, okay, in your phone, the same is this. Okay, this is the official and the settings app available on your phone. Okay, you can see the if you are an app developer, you will be able to recognize the SRC, libs, res. So you will be able to see what is it. Okay, so Android framework contains a compilation of all the apps as well as other repositories. Okay, so this is the official source code of the settings app. It's okay by Google, which is Google, and you can modify it according to your choice. So whatever the if you open your Android, if you open your MIUI, then if you will be able to see, in about phone you will be able to see the version written as MIUI version or all the stuff written. Okay, so all those stuff can be done by doing changes in this settings repo. Okay, so those changes can be done via Android Studio, which comes under Android app development. Okay, so Android app development is also part of Android framework. Okay, so these are the main 2-3 repositories which you want to know for compiling your Android operating system. I won't go much in detail about other repositories. Okay, so now I will show you about my OS. So this is the source code of my OS. If you want to go through it, you can go. So this is my source code of Cosmic OS. This is what I have compiled. So you can see there are also 239 repositories which I have contributed. So to compile my OS, you don't want to go in much details about all the stuffs. What you need to do is you just need to go to this platform manifest. Okay, so you can see this is the like Cosmic OS is my OS and this is my logo and all. So these are okay. So now these are the branch this for. So Wasser is the version release of my OS for Android 10. Corona was for Android Pine. Pulsar was for Android Oreo. So now to initialize my repository, what you need to do is you got to do this. So I will show you more detail about this after some time, and then how to build the system. I will show you how I can build the Android operating system. Like I will be showing you a build by Cosmic OS. Okay, a build of Cosmic OS while doing it. So this was all I talked about ROM sources. So using GitHub and Android open source AOSP source, you can see different sources and you can go through it. If you are interested in it, you can go through the more go through the sources more, and you will be able to understand more about it. Okay, just for if you want to know more about it. So now let us come to the main thing, compilation of operating system. Okay, so I will be showing you the process of syncing a ROM source code to RepoSync, and then I will show you a live demonstration of compilation of Android operating system using device sources. So when you talk about device sources, see, and whenever you want to compile, there are two stuff which you need. One is ROM source code and another is device source code. Okay, so for creating a compile operating system, you also need to have a device source code. So I have a device repository too. You can see, go through Cosmic devices, where I have stored all the so this is the compile. This is the repository where all my official devices source codes are available. Okay, you can go through them. So you also need to sync both. You need to have device sources, and you also need to have ROM sources. Okay, you need to sync both of them to actually compile it. Okay, so this is my team. Okay, you can see the number of people over here. You can see the contributors too. So these are all the contributors in my OS. So today I will be showing about Refile. Refile means this is the source code of the device Redmi K20 Pro. Okay, as I already show you, device configuration for Redmi K20 Pro. So this is my official source code of Cosmic OS of Redmi K20 Pro. So I will be compiling an operating system for this phone while demonstrating it. This is my phone which I currently have. So this is the phone which I maintain. Okay, so I won't go much into detail like how to create these things. So how to create a device sources. So it will, I guess maybe I can do it in a later future seminars. So now let us just go into it. Okay, first of all, I will show you how to sync. So for syncing, first of all, just create a new repository, new folder. So suppose I will be showing you how to sync lineage OS. Okay, so suppose I do mkdir lineage. So this is a command to create a new folder. And now let me go into the folder. So see, before you go into app development, you need to learn about basic Linux commands. Okay, if you don't have a grip on Linux command and Git, then you can't go into Android development. Okay, because Android development is a very vast thing, and without Linux commands, you can't do anything. So you can even go through my lectures in YouTube if you want. If you want, I can share you afterwards, in which I have shown you, in which I have talked about what are the basic Linux commands, and also about VPS and other stuff. Okay, so I have created a folder, and now to sync it, you need to go to as I told you, you need to go to the manifest of the ROM which you want to sync. Okay. So for if you want to sync Lineage OS, you need to type this command. You can see each and every ROM has this command provided in their manifest. Okay. So you just need to copy paste it. Hello. Okay. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, Sagar.
Okay. Actually, I don't know why, but someone muted me.
Okay, yeah, I'll check it out.
Okay. So if you wanna sync my OS, then what you gotta do is repo init like this. Okay. So you just need to copy paste the commands which are already given in each ROM's manifest. Okay. Suppose if I will show you how to sync my OS. So just copy paste the command. Okay. Repo -u and then the link of the and then branch. So this is the command which was written over there. Okay. So I just typed it down. You can see that. Repo init. So repo is a command which you want to use to do it. Okay. So repo init and then press enter. So this will automatically create. So you can see this will download the manifest and then it will create a repository. Okay. So you can see see over here your identity is and then repo has been initialized. As soon as it's initialized, you can do anything. Okay. Now to sync it, you need to type repo sync. As soon as you type, it will start downloading the source. Okay. See, repo sync requires internet. As I'm using a server, you can see the speed of the server. Okay. It's around 20 to 16, 17 megabytes per second. Okay. So that's a whole lot of speed which you get using a server. So now this is syncing. Okay. So ROM source will take time according to syncing will take time according to your internet speed. So if you are doing it locally, then it will depend on your internet time. If you are doing on server, it will take time according to your according to like according to the price net of their server. Okay. So I won't go much into it because it will take more time. So I cancelled it as I already have the sync source. So let me just show you how the sync source link looks like. Okay. So this is the folder of named Cosmic which I made, and the source is already sync over here. I'm sorry about this. Okay, you can see this. So this is all the folders. Should I use a magnifier to show you? You can see this. Okay, so now each and all this. Okay. So these are all the repositories which you will get after syncing. So now once you sync your device source, once you sync your Android source, you gotta sync the device source. So now for suppose for my OS, for my device, there are three sources which I not got to sync. Okay, one is this device source, and then comes the kernel. Okay, you also got to sync the kernel. As you can see, this is the official source code of a kernel. Okay, kernel is another thing in device source which this source code is around 1 or 2 GB. Okay, a normal kernel source code will be around 2 to 3 GB, which Linux released it. Okay, So this is the kernel source code which you also need. So I already have all the stuff synced. I will just show you one by one. So see, here device means it's a device repository. Then here Xiaomi. Xiaomi means the board. Okay, so my phone is K20 Pro is from Xiaomi, so it's named as Xiaomi, and then Raphael is the code name. So this is how each and every source code device sources are named as. So you can see this is the source code of my device, which is also synced. Then I will show you the kernel. Okay. So this is the kernel. Now this is the kernel which you can see, which also I have synced already. And now the last thing is vendor blobs. Okay, I'm sorry. The last thing is vendor. So what do you mean by vendor is these are all the lives which you are. If you are a root user, you can see it in a system live folder. Okay, so whatever so there are some stuffs which they are proprietary. Suppose your phone's camera. Okay, so camera each phone has different camera blobs. Okay, so camera related to hardware. Okay, so some things are there which you can't change, which you need to take it from stock. Okay, so all those stuffs are called as proprietary blobs, and those are in a form of a lives. You can see it. All those stuffs are there in this repository named vendors. Okay, this is what you call it as vendor. So if I tell about our lives, so these are all the lives which are there in the system. Okay, which needs to be there, or else the custom ROM which you compile won't be able to boot up. Okay, so I just showed you the boot lives. Suppose this is the head. See, you can see Android or hardware or camera provider. So this is the live responsible for camera. So without this, camera won't work in your phone, in your ROM. Okay, so these are all the Qualcomm related lives. These are all IMS, live related to IMS means real means phone related. Okay, like whatever SIM card you see, IMEI, all this stuff comes under IMS. So then you can see there are different type of lives. So this all comes under vendor. Okay, so I also have this thing. So I won't go much detail about how you find it, how you develop this. So that I will take it in another session, I guess. So now I will be showing you how to compile it. Okay, so start the compilation. There are two commands. So basically 3 commands which you got to do. The first command is executing the build script. So there is a script called env setup.sh available in build repository. Okay, build folder of your source. Okay, so you execute this so that it will start the environment. Okay, build environment. And then after you do this, there are more 2 commands, lunch or breakfast. Okay, so you can literally say breakfast or see, Android development is a very cheeky. There are several nice names. Okay, you do breakfast and you do lunch, then you also do brunch. There are commands are like very similar to eating. Okay, so they are type of funny commands. Okay, when I flash a custom ROM on my phone, will it override my phone's private? Okay, no, it won't overwrite your phone's provided driver because custom ROM already requires vendor partition 2. So if you have a latest phone, it will already have treble partition, so it won't overwrite anything. Okay, it will just overwrite the system partition of your phone. All the operating system of your phone is there in system partition. Okay, so if you install a custom ROM, the system partition will be replaced with the custom ROM. Okay, so now let me show you the what breakfast means. So breakfast means initializing your device. Okay, so my device name is Raphael, as I already said. So what I will do is I will do breakfast Raphael. So now you can see. So it will already it will seeing all this stuff and it will show something like this. Now you can see platform version is 10. So this is Android version 10. This is Cosmic version. This is Cosmic OS version 5.0, and the target is Raphael. You can see all other stuffs like what is the Arc variant, target Arc, then host Linux, and all the stuff which are there. So this is the breakfast. Now I will show you the compilation. Okay. So to do the compilation, you gotta type wrench Raphael. Okay, the device name, and now it will start compilation. So the compilation process will depend upon the build system. Let me tell you, the compilation process looks so good. You will be in love with it. Okay. First time when I saw the compilation process, it was fascinating to me. Okay. So like it will take some time for initialization. So it will be stuck over here for around 1 or 2 minutes. So as I already compiled one build, so it will be faster. So if you compile from scratch, it will take around 2 or 3 hours, and it can even take days according to your the hardware of your hardware of your server or your device. Okay. So if you do it locally in a 8 GB RAM with i5 processor, it will take around 1 or 2 days to compile your operating system. But the specs of my server are around 64 GB RAM with 7 cores, so it's much faster. So this was all about the webinar. So you guys can see it over here. If you want to stay, you can see it over here. So I guess it will take around 5 to 10 minutes to fully compile. In 2 or 3 minutes, you will be able to see the main process. Okay. So I can't do anything. Okay, it started. So you can see this. So each and everything which you are got to see. See, this is entering this. This is make compile. Now, currently, it's compiling kernel. You can see it's building kernel. So so first of all, it will compile kernel. It will and whatever the dependencies which are there can be seen over here. You can see each and every dependency which are there. So it will keep doing it. See, now compilation is done. Now it's doing. So it's got a system image and all those stuff. So this is how actually our OS is compiled. Okay. So as I already had it compiled earlier, so it was very easy to compile. Okay. Okay. So let us go for questions. Will Rooting stop the system updates of my devices? Okay. So yeah. See, Rooting will stop the official updates which you get in your devices, but let me tell you, you don't actually need to go through with official devices. Okay, official updates. Any update which you get, you can directly download it and flash it externally. Okay, there is no need for the process for official updated process to be there. If you do start doing it, you will be able to get more info about it. Okay, so at first, like nowadays, if you wanna do root, so there are two stuff which you gotta do. First, you gotta unlock the bootloader. So without unlocking, because nowadays all the phones which are there comes with a locked bootloader. So locked bootloader means you can't do any changes in the or modifications in your phone. So this is a part of the Android. This is the part of companies. Companies authority. Okay. So once you do that, you gotta unlock the bootloader. Once you do that, you can install some custom recovery, and then you can root your device. All the tutorials are there in YouTube. You can go through that. Okay, Xiaomi bootloader. As far as I know, there are some methods but the method are only for some devices. Okay, so if you have a device, Xiaomi device, very popular Xiaomi device, for example, Poco F1. So Poco F1 had an unofficial method for unlocking the bootloader without using the official Xiaomi tool. Yeah, Poco F1, as far as I know, Poco F1 has it. Or else you can just wait for 7 days. Okay, official Xiaomi tools, you just got a request for it, and then it will take around 7 days for a verification, and then you can unlock the bootloader. Once you unlock the bootloader, you can easily flash any custom ROM. And this was to show you how a custom ROM is compiled. Okay. So I guess it will get compiled in just around 2-3 minutes if you guys wait. So this is currently it's packing the target final package. You can see the zip file. So after the ROM is compiled, you get a zip file of the compiled OS. Okay. So I will show you what are the compilation, what are zip file, how it looks, everything. It will take around more 2-3 minutes. So this was it about all the demonstration. Okay, so it went more. Okay, ahead you can see it had already checked all the steps. Okay, you can if you go through all this stuff, you'll be able to understand it. So it has compiled DTBO, it has compiled VB meta system, it has compiled the radio means related to all the related to apna real means your phone services. Okay, so it has all compiled all the binary related to that, and now it is currently creating a OTA package. You can see OTA English.group, and then after that it will create a final thing. So you can also see that the algorithm, it also uses encrypted algorithm. You can see the algorithm is SHA-246. So if you are not, if you don't know, you can leave it, or else if you know about like decryption, encryption, you will be able to know why each and every zip which you create has custom signatures. Okay, and that signature is used using algorithm of SHA-256. Okay, so this is how the signature verification is done. So suppose if you wanna share any updates in your suppose if a company sends an official OTA package, okay, OTA update. So OTA update requires some specific signature. Okay, each company has their own signature, or else you can't flash it. So that signature is made using an algorithm, and each company has its own signature. Okay. I guess it will take more 2-3 minutes. We'll just gotta wait. So compilation of Android framework is a tedious process. Okay, it will take lots of time. So you just gotta have patience and like a knowledge, and some key interest. Okay, to actually to learn it, because if you start it, it will take a lot of time. It took me around 6 to 7 months or 1 year to just get familiar with the source code. Okay, then I started actually compiling my own OS. Sorry, before that I was just learning it. So you just gotta have patience. And as I said, there are very few Android framework developers, real framework developers in India. Okay, and I am one of them. I guess there are only around 500 to 600 people in all India. Okay. Okay. So this, you can see this, the compilation is done. So each blocks were done. I guess this got messed up. This was the image of my Cosquillos. This got messed up due to internet issue. So you can see the package, the ROM compilation was successful. You can see the package completion. So it's present, and you can see. So now I will go towards the ROM package. The size was 929 MB. You can see. So these are all the compiled files. Which were there. So you can see the system.img. You can see the recovery, each and everything which you compiled, and these are all the zips which I have compiled until now. Okay. It will also show you the date. I will also show you the time. Okay. Any standard parts of the Android development. Okay. The standard part is very simple. First start with being a tester of yourself. First start learning more about how, learning about how the system works. Okay. First try learning about custom ROMs. Try flashing already available custom ROMs. Try to learn about Lockit. Try to learn about how to fix bugs and all. Okay. Try to be a tester for some custom already for some developer. So this way you will be able to learn everything about related to framework. Okay. Then you can start compiling your OS. So that can be done using. So you can take out some guides from. You can even contact me. I'll be there to help you if you want. Anyway, if you want to do it. Okay. So this was about compilation operating system. So you can find me on social media. So these are the links. You can screenshot it if you want. You can contact me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even on Telegram. Okay. The same username on Telegram. I have the same username on Telegram. Okay. And so thank you for attending the session. So for questions, clarification, let us know. So the parting words I have to tell is, if somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you are not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it later. Yes, I am active on LinkedIn too. Okay, okay, I got one question. How multi-roam recovery works? Okay, so basically multi-roam recovery contains two steps. Okay, so what happens is there is a system partition which is available. Okay, so now to multi-roam means basically running two roams simultaneously. Okay, so what it does is it creates a separate partition in the available extra space of system. Okay, it creates two partitions, and that recovery can flash the ROM inside that particular partition. Okay, this is how you can. This is how simply I can explain it. There are lots of more stuff they are considering VB meta and all, so I won't go much detail about it. But multi-ROM recovery helps you in having two custom ROMs by using two different partitions. That's all. So if I am active on LinkedIn, if you wanna, okay, I will just share my LinkedIn profile in the chat box. If you wanna get connected with me. Okay, now it's all over to you. Finishing my
So
session.
thank you, Sagar. Thank you, Sagar, for a wonderful session. We came to know a lot about Android framework actually. Like for me, actually, Android development was pretty same as an Android framework. Today I came to know they both are completely different. And as
Yeah.
for root access, like they were like a buzzwords for us.
Hmm.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, so somebody asked like feedback form. Guys, the feedback form will be shared in the chat section soon, as well as the Saga social media link too. And you can also check this on the YouTube channel. Like it will be posted in a few days, so you can see the session. And I would like to transfer it to Heli Kapadia, who is the chapter leader of Girls Trip Surat. So, Heli.
Thank you so much, Sagar. It was a wonderful session, and even I came to know a lot about Android framework. And thank you everyone for joining us and attending this session.
Okay, so feedback form is there, so you guys can
Yeah.
go through
So
it.
you can fill the feedback form, as well as all the attendees will get the mail about the feedback and rest of stuff. So thank you guys. Thank you for attending the session. Thank you for all the participants as well who attended the session. Thank you very much. Shall we leave?
Okay, so that is stop the meeting.
Yeah. Sure. Bye.
Chalo, bye bye.